Hello everyone, this is Karen, the Aqua Priestess. I just wanted to come in today and give you a little bit of a nourishing energy read for the week. I'm so glad to be here, and for those of you that are interested to do any of my readings with me, I just want to share in the beginning before I get into this energy. I wanted to let you know that I specialize in Chiron, and I've spoke about this before if some of you haven't seen my videos and my intro video, etc. I specialize in Chiron, and I'm really excited about that because most of the time Chiron is the planet that, or the asteroid rather, it's the asteroid in the energy signature that makes us feel into past life memory or other timeline, because everything is happening now. So all of our so-called lives, we can tap into those in any moment. And for some reason, when we chose to come into this personality, we chose to bring the signature with us from what we experienced that we wanted to go to the next rung with. So when we're living in this life, we get triggers and they bring this memory code back to us. And it feels all kinds of different ways for different people, depending on where and how it's aspecting in their astrology chart. But sometimes it feels like it comes up as I'm not good enough, or I could die if I go forward with this. Like, it gets very extreme. And so when I do these sessions, sometimes people avoid these sessions because they feel like, I don't want to go into that. I'm trying to stay away from that. I'm trying to stay focused on the positivity, etc., which is very healthy to do, and it's very wonderful, except for it always comes back because you chose to bring it forward. And you chose to bring it forward for a reason, so that you could learn from it and then get the gifts from it. And so most of my readings, my clients leave me feeling so confident, so uplifted, because they realize that this energy signature that we brought forward is something that's happening in another parallel timeline or so-called past lives, and it's not really current. So one of the guidance I want to give you today is go forward, and when you feel these triggers of these deep wounded feelings, take a look around you and see if this signature is actually current. Is the exact feeling that you're feeling match the vibration of what's actually happening? And most of the time when it is your Chiron aspect, you'll notice that it's not. It's just that there's a trigger. It might have got you going, but it feels way deeper inside of you. That's one thing that you can tap into and just kind of recognize that this is not current. And that should give you some ease. And like I said, if we do these sessions and my clients, we go much deeper, but it's even more of a release. There's protocols that come through. There's certain ways that this Chiron, I call it a Chiron code, a memory code, because it's there for a reason, so that you can utilize that deep feeling to get to the other scale of that feeling, which is like the most beneficial. So whatever you're feeling, when you think about the opposite of that feeling, this is where I can help you get to by doing the work on this Chiron. So it's actually a beautiful session. So I invite you all to, find your courage, because this is the thing that stops people from their very dharma, and because they keep hiccuping with this. And so I've helped a lot of my clients transmute it. I've transmuted, and I'd love to work with any of you guys to work on your Chiron and any other. I channel astrology, so I can go into different planets, how it's aspecting, and channel what that is really saying, what it's really wanting from you. directly. So there's such a beautiful thing about just doing a natal reading and then possibly going into Chiron and maybe going deeper into Chiron or going into the specific finger of God where you're having these, little hiccups that you're trying to work on. Because as I'm channeling through, it's coming from your higher self, and then it enables you to get your own answers in a way. So it's really nice, and it gets me like I'm off the hook there. I can just channel it through and let you give yourself the answers through my channel. So it's such a blessing and an honor and a gift. So I look forward to meeting any of you that are interested in doing this reading with me. Thank you for listening to that. Let's move on to the energy read. Today is the 5th. It is Mercury Day. So this is the day I like to communicate and do podcasts and do videos, etc. And so I'm happy that I feel the intuition to come today because we have some interesting things happening. We have Mercury that just went into Gemini, so it has us all, like, what a day to come on Mercury Day, which is, where our North Node is. So now everything's about to move into Gemini. But before that happens, we have the moon in Pisces today, and it's 7 degrees, 29 degree Jupiter, and it was a stellium. Now Mercury left and went into Gemini, but all this energy of this square happening in Taurus about our value and about our own authenticity and authority in the way that we really want to govern our lives in this 3D world. Because in reality, this Jupiter 29 degree in Aquarius is a very spiritual, heavenly energy, but it's at that critical degree. It's like, what are the changes you're going to make so that you can benefit in your sensitivity and the senses within you. We are in this very pliable energy right now with Neptune in Pisces at 22 degrees. And with Chiron at 10 degrees in Aries, our identities, 10 degrees is kind of like that place in between where you're working to get to. So we're all feeling like, I'm not quite there in my identity right now. That's natural. We're all feeling that right now. So don't take that as that you're not good enough or you can't do it, or don't let it trigger you into it, because it's just that space before you actually become that identity. Once you get that one hit, it can change in 2 seconds, and it will do that as this moves forward. So don't trip on it too much. Just let it bring you the information that it's trying to bring you. And with Uranus in Taurus at 10 degree, it's also helping us to revolutionize. So we're at 10 degree, we're still in the process of. So we're working on finding our own alchemization process and our own how are we going to change this to really get us to the value and the next level that we are working to attain. With Venus in Taurus at 25 degrees, the sun today is at 15 degrees. We are truly preparing for this new moon in Taurus. Is that where are we going in our value moving forward? And with the Mars in Cancer, we are very sensitive at this time, especially when we have Pluto at 26 degree in Capricorn. A lot of structures are shifting. So we're at a very interesting pass right now. I've been letting my clients know that as we're in this period, I'm calling this the 3rd trimester, because the 3rd trimester is about where it feels a little uncomfortable and we might have a little anxiety of not knowing where we're going. Just like when you're, for those males out there, you may not understand this, but you might have seen a friend go through it, or your sister or your mother or whatever. But when you're in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, you start feeling pressure and you start getting uncomfortable, and then you start thinking, what is this baby going to look like? What is his identity going to be? And all of this. So as we're going through this timeline birth, we are at this pressure point. So all we need to do now is realize that in this pressure point, if we just take the time to upkeep spiritually, we can maintain that balance, because once this new moon comes, this is good for us to learn how this creates character. When we really start getting good at dealing with the pressure of evolution, then we get really good at, that we get powerful. We become a more interesting character instead of just, oh, feels terrible, and not taking action or not taking some reflection in how can I deal with this properly. And some of the things that I've been getting, the way to deal with this pressure right now is to do 3 deep breaths in, hold them for 10 seconds, and then release the breath. As you're doing that, you can rub your palms together to clean your palm chakras, shake those fingertips out like your water droplets coming out of your fingers. You're releasing energy there. Rub those palms again, cleaning, and then take it over your head and clean your outer aura. And do this because, we used to be able to get away with doing the morning meditation. Because there's so much pressure right now, we need to cleanse our energy more throughout the day. So the thing that kept coming to me was upkeep, upkeep, upkeep. Like when you're in your 3rd trimester, and I've had 4 babies, so I know you have to start putting your feet up earlier in the evening. You have to start taking really warm baths with essential oils, which we can do anyway, but we're in a birthing process as a collective right now. So take the time to take care and nurture yourself, and remember to feel at peace in the simplicity of not knowing right now. Because you're not the only one. It's definitely a co-creation with spirit and source. There's things that are going to be happening in the future you have no idea right now. So just come back to peace and find that balance in the simplicity of life, of looking at a flower and then striving for what you desire. Find the balance, and whenever you feel anxiety over it, you relax and take a break and just breathe and go back to simplicity. So simplicity, go into nature, and then go and take the steps forward of what you're trying to work on, creating and changing in your identity. I am so happy to share this message because we've all been dealing with, this is a collective thing, with Mars in Cancer at 7 degrees where the moon is today, and it's aspecting there in a positive way. It's letting us know that it's okay to feel sensitive. We are in this birthing process. I believe this birthing process will go on until Cancer season, but I'll keep doing these podcasts to keep you up to date on this birthing concept that came through really strong as a download for me. But allow yourself to move in your sensitivity. With Jupiter's getting ready to come into next week, I'll do a podcast on this, but Jupiter's getting ready to come into Pisces, and with the new moon. So I'm going to do an official new moon podcast, probably on the 11th, maybe the 10th, we'll see. But somewhere mid next week, I'll go into it, and I'm very, very excited for it because it is really, really us getting a new handle on where we're headed. And just, it'll feel better than this week. It'll feel much better. So take the time to nourish, go into simplicity, and then go back to what you're desiring to create. But do not create it when you're in that anxiety. I am sending you all so much love, so much joy, so much peace. And I hope to meet you sometime in the future. Take care and blessings.